Alright, this is Jeannie. She heard me say that.
I know you are good.
Describe World War II.
World War II, or WW2, also known as the Second World War after the recent Great War, was a global war that lasted from 1939 to 1945, though related conflicts began earlier. It involved the vast majority of the world's nations, including all of the great powers, eventually forming two opposing military alliances, the Allies and the Axis. It was the most widespread war in history and directly involved more than 100 million people from over 30 countries. In a state of total war, the major participants threw their entire economic, industrial, and scientific capabilities behind the war effort, erasing the distinction between civilian and military resources. Marked by mass deaths of civilians, including the Holocaust, during which approximately 11 million people were killed, and a strategic bombing of industrial and population centers, during which approximately 1 million people were killed, including the use of 2 nuclear weapons in combat. It resulted in an estimated 50 million to 85 million fatalities. These made World War II the deadliest conflict in human history. The Empire of Japan aimed to dominate Asia and the Pacific and was already at war with the Republic of China in 1937, but the World War is generally said to have begun on 1st of September 1939 with the invasion of Poland by Germany and subsequent declarations of war on Germany by France and the United Kingdom. From late 1939 to early 1941, a series of campaigns and treaties. Germany conquered or controlled much of continental Europe and formed the Axis alliance with Italy and Japan. Following the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, Germany and the Soviet Union partitioned and annexed territories of their European neighbors, Poland, Finland, Romania, and the Baltic states. The United Kingdom and the British Commonwealth were the only allied forces continuing the fight against the European Axis powers, with campaigns in North Africa and the Horn of Africa, as well as the long-running Battle of the Atlantic. In June 1941, the European Axis powers launched an invasion of the Soviet Union, opening the largest land theater of war in history, which trapped the major part of the Axis military forces into a war of attrition. In December 1941, Japan attacked the United States and European territories in the Pacific Ocean and quickly conquered much of the western Pacific. The Axis advance halted in 1942 when Japan lost the critical Battle of Midway near Hawaii, and Germany was defeated in North Africa and then decisively at Stalingrad in the Soviet Union. In 1943, with a series of German defeats on the Eastern Front, the Allied invasion of Italy, which brought about Italian surrender, and Allied victories in the Pacific, the Axis lost the initiative and undertook strategic retreat on all fronts. In 1944, the Western Allies invaded German-occupied France, while the Soviet Union regained all of its territorial losses and invaded Germany and its allies. During 1944 and 1945, the Japanese suffered major reverses in mainland Asia, in south-central China and Burma, while the Allies crippled the Japanese Navy and captured key western Pacific islands. The war in Europe ended with an invasion of Germany by the Western Allies and the Soviet Union, culminating in the capture of Berlin by Soviet and Polish troops and a subsequent German unconditional surrender on 8th of May, 1945. Following the Potsdam Declaration by the Allies on 26th of July, 1945, and the refusal of Japan to surrender under its terms, the United States dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki on 6 August and 9 August respectively. With an invasion of the Japanese archipelago imminent, the possibility of additional atomic bombings, in the Soviet Union's declaration of war on Japan and invasion of Manchuria, Japan surrendered on 15th of August, 1945. Thus ended the war in Asia and cementing the total victory of the Allies. World War II altered the